We're pleased to host Marc Kegelaers from Unifly. Marc, what are you doing at AUVSI this year? What do you got to show?
Well, we are a software company from Europe. We are the leading software provider for the UTM software. And we want to show that to the American market. Obviously, we've been very successful in Europe. And this time for us, we've taken the show here to launch ourselves in the American market.
What differences do you see or have you observed so far as you've transitioned from a European market to an American market?
There's big differences. In Europe, we have a very difficult playing field, if you like. We have a lot of countries which each have their own legislation. So if you want to fly in Europe, to try and understand what legislation you have to adhere to, that's a very, very difficult thing. Whereas in the States, you have one FAA, one set of rules. To me, as a European, that seems a bit easier to do.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So talk about the solution that you're providing in regards to Unifly. How do you approach this? What technologies are implemented?
Okay. The reason why we are successful in Europe is that we've looked very hard at all of the different stakeholders that would be affected by a UTM system and are affected by drones. Obviously, first of all, you have the regulator that has defined a number of rules, and he really would like everyone to follow those rules. But the regulator, everyone thinks of the national regulator, but there are other regulators as well. You have the state regulator, or even the town regulator or the sheriff that wants to define where drones can fly, yes or no. We have the air traffic control organizations that may or may not want to manage the drones, but the existing ATM organizations, they manage manned aviation, and maybe they would want to know where the drones are, and maybe they have information that are useful for drone operators. Then you have the drone operators themselves, the poor end user that ends up buying a drone in a shop. Where can he fly? Where can he not fly? Mm-hmm. And then the professional drone user that wants to send a flight plan to the authorities and expects the authorities to approve that. We also have applications for system houses that want to have UTM functionality in their environment. And last but not least, police forces. A problem that is popping up all over the world is that if there's an accident site somewhere, police forces would like to be able to say, well, that piece of airspace where the accident is, we would like to close it down for a while because we don't want to have 20 different drones taking photographs over there. Mm-hmm. So we built around a big database with lots of information in it. We've built a bunch of applications for that. So it really is a web-based application. Mm-hmm. With lots of information in it. We have airspace information, legislation information, obstacle information, weather and so forth. And we use that information to build applications for all of the different types of stakeholders.
Can you run me through some case scenarios with different types of operators, and not only how they would utilize your services, but ultimately how they take UTM technologies and implement them in their business structure?
A use case. You're typically talking about a professional drone user. Typically, he would have a flight planning application. He creates a flight path for him to do a certain mission. Now comes the problem, okay, can I execute this mission legally, yea or nay? Through our API, he can send that information into our system, and we can tell him, yes, we're looking at all of the regulations, we're looking at all the parameters, say yes, you can do it safely, yes or no. Now, if his drones are equipped with tracking devices or ADS-B, we can actually track the drones and give that information to the air traffic control, so that air traffic control knows where the drones are. We can do conflict detection, conflict resolutions for that, so that the drone operator can be assured that he's flying his drones very safely in a very safe environment.
What brought you to this type of technology? There are so many people out here with so many different missions. Sometimes the backstory is interesting. What idea drove them to attack this aspect of the issue? And more important, where do they see their company, their mission going in the future, especially in an industry that, by all intents and purposes, is exploding?
Yeah, the idea of doing this, actually we started in 2012. The founders of the company are air traffic controllers and pilots.
Ah, okay,
So-
that explains so much right there.
And then they saw the problem coming and said, we need to make, they saw that they could not use the existing air traffic management system for drones. It's a different public and there's so many more drones than airplanes. So they realized we have to make something else. And that's what we did. And it's an award-winning product, extremely successful. It's now so successful that we are almost beyond the development phase. Yeah, we're still development. We are in the implementation phase. For instance, the ANSP in Germany, the Deutsche Flugsicherung, have contracted with us to build a national unmanned traffic management system. We're doing the same for Denmark as well. And there are several European research programs that we are involved in, but we are already in an implementation phase where I see that many of the other, let's say, would-be companies are not yet. The vision of our company is that the UTM industry is a very young industry. Not a lot of companies are doing this. But the companies that are doing this, we are all building an environment where in a few years' time it will be possible to do highly automated air traffic management for a large number of devices that are flying in very difficult airspace. If you think about it, if you can do that for unmanned aviation, you sure as hell can do that for manned aviation. So
the bigger picture.
The bigger picture. So the nature of air traffic management will change over the next few years, and the industry that's driving this is this industry.
Well, it has to change. There's no question. If you look at the projections, the percentage of manned to unmanned is going to flip-flop dramatically.
Oh yeah, it's already flip-flop.
Yeah.
If you look at the number of targets that you have to manage, there's already a lot more drones flying about than manned aircraft.
At the same time, ultimately, if the system is designed properly, managing the unmanned traffic should, by most scales, be easier in the long run. For no other reason than, let's face it, the mission is going to be planned, it's going to be spec'd, it's going to be approved, and off it goes. Whereas manned has a tendency to have, well, literally a mind of its own.
Yeah, that's true. The drone world, the unmanned world, will be highly automated, will be very, very safe. A manned pilot can still take his own decisions. Yeah.
So in attacking the American market, which, let's face it, the American market's fairly parochial, so you have to deal with that issue, just the not invented here aspect of it.
Yeah.
Are you finding any surprises right now as you're attacking it, and more important, where are its greatest opportunities for a company like yours?
I've not encountered the not invented here syndrome yet.
Excellent.
But it may come. That has a lot to do, thinking with the technology that we have is quite advanced. But one of the things that we've done over the last few months, we actually signed a contract with Thales. They're bringing out a UTM product which is largely based on our technology.
Sharp company.
Yeah.
Very sharp company.
Yeah. So we see that there's a big opportunity there in associating ourselves with a company of the size of Thales. Yeah.
Okay. For those in the audience that are looking for the kind of solutions in the UTM category that you present, how do they reach out to you? How can they get more information on the services you're providing?
Just go to our website, unifly.aero. There's not .com, it's unifly.aero. There's a big difference. There's a lot of information on the website. Go to the website, send us an email, and we'll respond to that very, very quickly.
Excellent. And finally, you're here at AUVSI 2017. What are you noticing? What are your impressions of the show and this industry coming together in one place like this?
I'm extremely impressed with this show. I travel a lot. I travel all over the world. This is probably the largest UAV show in the world. So that in itself, a concentration like this of these types of technology companies is quite impressive. So I'm very pleased to be here. I think if I can't make it here, I cannot make it anywhere.
I've heard that line before.
Yes.
Marc, we thank you so much for your time and for joining us with Aero-News live coverage of XPONENTIAL 2017. We're going to take a short break. We've got a number of other guests lined up.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International's Exponential 2017, live from Dallas, Texas, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
In collaboration with NASC, introducing Sonex Aerospace, bringing you the Taros Group 4 UAS, the redesigned Tiger Shark Block 4, and the Subsonics Twin Jet UAS, all derived from flight-proven manned systems, not concepts, real aircraft. More at sonexaerospace.com.
Let Patrick Neal & Associates provide the legal expertise needed to navigate the commercial UAS industry. Whether it be waivers, exemptions, operational plans, or other issues, we can provide the guidance you need to keep flying and building your successful UAS operation. www.droneattorneys.us